Um, it was a funny experience. It was like when I don't know, it was a really good experience for me. I think I kind of I have a good sense when a song is done. Um, so I was able, I think, to kind of do a record alone, but it is really different from a collaboration where you have tons of ideas being bounced at you from other people, and there's like an excess of ideas, and so then you kind of have to scale back to make a cohesive song. When you're working alone, it's kind of like you can just do whatever you want to do. So it was sort of an interesting process for me to kind of figure out when to stop and what was missing in each song, and then not working with a producer and all the people I was working with being totally unfamiliar with the music. It was really kind of a lot of mad scientists. It was really, I remember going out to Brooklyn every day just kind of saying, I don't know, it was very exhilarating, but also kind of like, wow, I can do whatever I want. That's a fun part. I think over the years of being, a musician, I've met some artists that I kind of like really admire. There's people that I just, oh my God, I wish I could play like that, or I wish I could, do what you do in different ways. So it was fun for me to kind of just be able to call on the people that I think are the best and say, would you like to, help me out on this song? So Mike from Rat-a-tat, you don't really hear too well what he's doing, but you feel it actually, because he does a harmony guitar line in Skyscraper. That for me was just like, I got such a kick out of just getting him on my record, because I'm a huge fan of his work, and he's literally maybe the best guitar player that I've ever seen, and truly a genius. So it was just fun for me to have someone that inspires me like that to play on my record. Then Sam plays on another song, and it's kind of like I had a real kind of rocking song, and that was one song. Like, I wrote all the beats that are kind of more, in my mind, influenced by hip hop, but the one song that Sam played on is just really like, it was meant to be more of a straight rock song. So I wrote the verse beat, and then I said, Sam, would you kind of play with me on this track, because Sam is the best rock drummer that I know. And so it was just like, well, I'll call him. Then the bass player I was working with is also just like an insane jazz session musician who plays upright and electric bass. And then I just got lucky when I met Yoed, my cello player. It was like, I was in the studio and I said, do you guys know any cellists? And they said, yeah, we know this crazy Israeli kid. So the string and horn musicians that came and played were only through recommendation, but everybody else was just because they're the best that I knew. I didn't intend to tour at all for this record. The goal for me was to make a record. I grew up where my favorite listening experiences weren't concerts. They were kind of driving in cars or listening to my Walkman and then my Discman and now my iPod on headphones. So it's like car stereos and headphones are kind of my ideal listening experiences. So I made a record that for me was for those environments where all the details can be really heard, and like you layer it so that with repeat listens things are still being revealed. There's a record by Cody Chestnut called The Headphone Masterpiece, and like some of it's, I don't even know what he's doing, and some of it's amazing. And then again, in the vein of kind of Centro Sabato, Folk Implosion, John Frusciante, those are records that like you wouldn't expect. The first John Frusciante record, Neandro Lades, and usually just a t-shirt. It's like part of the art of the album is the use of like home recording techniques. That's part of what the craft is, and that's not reproducible live. So I was just sort of like, well, I'm more interested in just making these sonic escapes and like communicating these ideas musically with total control to be appreciated with headphones. So it was only as a vehicle to promote that body of music that I'm touring at all, because it didn't seem like, if you don't worry about making live performances when you're making a record, it can turn out to be kind of hard when you face the live, I don't know if that was my homeboy Nils's idea or someone's idea involved with the production of that video. We wanted to do a video with a hot chick being sexual. That was sort of one of the criteria that I wanted to have in the video. We worked on these treatments, the director and I, and we started going towards like a film noir kind of vibe, and then some kind of dark, mysterious themes. And then all of a sudden, like, the female character started to get a little bit kind of, ooh, you know, if we just hire some, like, pretty girl and have her do these things, it may not look right. It may look a little like she's being taken advantage of, or that there's some vague, you know, just got a little iffy. And when it was suggested that we ask Emily Haynes to do it, it was like, okay, I know her and she's got a big personality. She's a very strong person. And so I felt that she would be able to inhabit this character and not have the character appear to be a victim of any kind. And actually, it becomes more Bonnie and Clyde kind of thing, where it's like this adventure that the male and the female are on together. Wu-Tang Clan, kind of. Obvious ones would be the Strokes, I would say. You know, that had a huge impact, just making rock kind of hip and credible again on a mass level. I would say Liars are probably going to wind up being understood as having been really influential. I kind of think Kool Keith is still like a relevant force within hip hop, personally.